Very good morning, 10:38, Britain's newsroom. So the first Uber-style app for emergency ambulances in the UK is thriving as NHS waiting times continue to rise.
So patients worry about delays for a 999 response are turning to private emergency care with help reportedly guaranteed to arrive within half an hour.
An NHS England spokesman has said that ambulances had experienced their busiest year in history, but paramedics delivered faster response times than the year before. So let's speak now to the co-founders of FlashAid. This is Maxim Korotic and Greg Ridionov, who join us now in the studio. So, gentlemen, Russian, Ukrainian.
The other way around.
Russian, Ukrainian.
And your friends, which is great.
Exactly.
Friends and business partners.
Best friends.
Greg, let me come to you on this. How does the business model work? Just explain it to us.
100%. So first of all, thank you very much for having us here. And in terms of the business model, so we have our B2C model, so business to consumer, which is a subscription model where we charge people £2.99 per month. And then this then lets them...
£2.99? £2.99.
£2.99, yeah. Right. It's cheaper than a cup of coffee in Starbucks.
Yeah,
which is,
it is.
Yeah, and then, so this then allows people to call an ambulance. And then we also have our B2B model, business to business, where we work with, in partnerships with care homes, home care agencies and insurance companies.
So if you call the ambulance, how much do you pay for that?
So you would pay around £99 per hour.
Right.
And how many ambulances do you have, Max?
We do not own our own ambulances. We partner with private ambulance providers, and they basically supply the ambulances and the medical staff. Right now, we have partnered with 3 private ambulance providers because we're still in the pilot stage, but we've got 60 plus on the waiting list. So we're definitely going to expand and get more.
So the medical staff on the ambulance would be fully qualified paramedics, as if you'd got a 999?
Absolutely. Some of them even work for the NHS alongside their job at the private provider.
But the big question, when your ambulance gets to the hospital, are you admitted? Is the patient admitted in the normal way?
Yes.
Or is there any, hang on, this is private?
No,
NHS ambulance might take priority?
No. So it's exactly the same as an ambulance, as an NHS ambulance, because our ambulances, they're genuine ambulances, so they'll be treated exactly the same as the NHS ones.
Gosh, extraordinary.
So is this something that, from your conversations, the NHS are welcoming because it's taking pressure off the NHS?
I guess that's the way it should work. We haven't seen much opposition from the NHS. We are relieving pressure from them, because we are aiming to respond at categories 3 and 4. Most of the time, that's where the...
What does that mean, category 3 and 4?
So in the UK, there are 4 categories, depending on the severity of the case. And NHS is doing a good job at responding at category 1, sometimes at category 2, but they're awful at category 3 and 4, and that's where we try to excel, and we get a response time of under 30 minutes even in those categories.
How can you guarantee that?
Through the large network of partners, and some...
And you're operating in just which towns are you in at the moment? Is it just the pilot's just in one place?
Right now, we are live in Thames Valley area and in West London.
Right.
And what kind of people use your service? Are they the very, very wealthy?
No, not necessarily. Yeah, it's exactly as Max was saying. I just want to piggyback on what he said. We try to achieve this kind of under 30-minute response time due to the high density of ambulances. So if an ambulance is relatively next to a person, and that person could be anyone that needs an ambulance, whether it's an elderly gentleman or a lady, whether it's just someone who fell over, you know, and broken his leg and an ambulance is not coming to him. So if an ambulance is relatively close to that person, the price for an ambulance is going to be very, very cheap, because the time it takes to travel is low. My
own brother-in-law, an ambulance was called for him in Swindon in Wiltshire, nearly 5-hour wait. And I think that's not untypical. And it's not acceptable. It's outrageous. And, you know, if there'd been a private ambulance there in Swindon, I'd have been saying to my sister, book the private ambulance.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how wide... It's a pilot scheme. How quickly is this going to be rolled out across the country?
We hope to expand across the entire UK by the end of this year. Right now, we are closing our fundraising round. And hopefully, with this investment, we'll be able to expand very rapidly, first to all of London and then to the rest of the UK.
What does the Labour Party think about this?
haven't spoken to them.
Right.
Well, I mean, yeah, sorry. Go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, one of our viewers has said, if they charge £99 an hour and they get stuck at the hospital for hours waiting to unload, because we know that happens, obviously the patient and the family are still paying £99 an hour, even if it's sat there for 5 hours outside.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so to kind of combat that, the people that are in the back of an ambulance, they're welcome to release themselves from that ambulance
Right.
and then wait
In A&E or
yeah,
whatever
exactly.
it might be.
Yep.
Well, it is a fascinating
It really
business
is.
model, and I thank you both actually for your work, because I don't like this two-tier world where some people can pay for better NHS care, but frankly our NHS at the moment is failing.
It's appalling. It's gibberish. And it's called FlashAid, all one word. That's it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the app.
So people can just find the app.
Yeah, absolutely.
OK, thanks, gentlemen.
Well, good luck.
Right, still
Thank you
to
very much.
come this morning, farmers are en route to Whitehall. They're going to protest against the government's inheritance